Welcome to the Tom Name Salute to Sports and TAC Athletes of the Year Celebration 2021. On behalf of the Tacoma Athletic Commission, I welcome everyone to the Tom Name to Salute to Sports celebration. My name is Jay Strickers, and once again, it's quite difficult for me to express what a great honor and distinct privilege it is for me to represent the Tacoma Athletic Commission as we honor what would in a normal year have been our fall, winter, and spring sport athletes of the year, and also our 2021 Tom Names Salute to Sports Scholarship Award winners. To begin our program, I'm going to introduce our TAC president, Jim Merritt, who has a few introductory words for us.
The Tacoma Athletic Commission is a sports-minded civic organization dedicated to the promotion of amateur athletics and civic betterment. Today, as Jay stated, we celebrate our signature event, the Tom Name Salute to Sports and the TAC Athlete of the Year celebration, honoring the boy and girl student athletes from Pierce County high schools. The TAC wants to extend a sincere thank you to TV Tacoma Channel 12 for their efforts to create and present our 2021 Tom Names Salute to Sports celebration. And also a big thank you once again and always to the Tom and Meg Names Family Foundation, the Names Family Foundation, Paula Names Larkin and Diane Names, and also Columbia Bank for their sponsorship of our Athlete of the Year programs, and to the Sheeny Foundation for their support of the TAC. I also want to thank Willie Stewart and our TAC Athlete of the Year Committee for all the hard work they do in selecting our award recipients. You can follow us online. Please visit our TAC website to learn more about our organization and all that we do in recognizing and honoring our local sports participants and enthusiasts. Thank you all for tuning in to TV Tacoma Channel 12. And now, back to Jay for the rest of our program.
Thank you, Jim. The student athletes that we are honoring have been recommended by the coaches and athletic directors from their individual high schools. Each of our high schools nominates their Athlete of the Year in each individual sport. And then the TAC Athlete of the Year Committee selects the overall winner in each sport. All of our award recipients are selected from our 35 Tacoma Pierce County high schools. The criteria we use in our selection process is threefold: athletic achievement, academic achievement, and also school and community involvement. Again, we welcome all the student athletes, your parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, coaches, ADs, and whomever else might be watching our telecast. The TAC is extremely proud to honor each of you, your families, and your schools. Each of our nominees is to be congratulated for high success and achievement in each area. All of us within the TAC are tremendously proud of each of you for your dedication and commitment to success in high school, and for being the outstanding positive role models and positive forces that you have been within your school communities. As I'm sure you all know and understand, this past year, the WIAA set up 3 sport sessions in lieu of the typical fall, winter, and sport seasons. So let's start the program by acknowledging and meeting our TAC 2021 Session 1 Sports Athletes of the Year. The Session 1 sports this past year were girls cross country and boys cross country, girls volleyball, football, girls soccer, and girls swimming and diving. So let's start with girls cross country, and we have 4 recipients. First up is Ella Borsheim from Bellarmine Prep, Zoe DeVinny from Bonnie Lake High School, Olivia Simmons, Peninsula High School, and Katrina Wanjin from Curtis High School. Next up is boys cross country, and we have 3 recipients. Sam Zilke, Puyallup High School. Cameron McGann, Bethel High School. Cruz Corbin, Lakes High School. In volleyball, our athletes of the year are Adele Holland, Puyallup High School. Haley Brockway, Graham Kapowson High School. And Shalise Knuckles from Wilson High School. In football, our TAC athletes of the year are Justin Brennan, Lakes High School. Gordon Falanahi from Spanaway Lake High School. Jonas Wah, Graham Kapowson High School. And Sam Husarik from Emerald Ridge High School. Let's move into girls soccer. First up is Hallie Noel from Puyallup High School. Kendall Rydell, Spanaway Lake High School. And Tori Reardon, Curtis High School. And last, but certainly not least, are our girls swim and dive athletes of the year. And we have Lee Lopez Silvers from Curtis High School, Heather Hopkins, Rogers High School, and Alex Rupi from Steilacoom High School. Let's give a big in-house round of applause for our Session 1 TAC Athletes of the Year. Our TAC Athletes of the Year for Session 2 are next. In our Session 2 sports this year were girls tennis, girls golf, bass pitch, girls track and field, boys golf, baseball, boys track and field, boys soccer, and boys swim and dive. So first up, let's acknowledge our girls tennis athletes of the year. And they are Cabri Jacobson from Sumner High School and Tori Thomas from Fife High School. Let's move on to girls golf. And our athletes of the year are Emerson Walker from Charles Wright Academy, and also Bailey Bass from Peninsula High School. In fast pitch, our 3 athletes of the year are Haley Rath from Eatonville High School, Emily Berry from Peninsula High School, and Bryn Nelson from Bonnie Lake. Girls track and field is next up, and our winners are Zoe DeVinny from Bonnie Lake High School, Rico Wilford from Curtis High School, Carly Huber from Emerald Ridge High School, and Ella Borsheim from Bellarmine Prep. In boys golf, it's Johan Baines from Charles Wright Academy. In baseball, our AOYs are Caleb Wanaka from Peninsula High School, Zion Williams from Curtis High School, AJ Guerrero from Fife High School, and Nick Lewandowski from Bonnie Lake High School. Next up is boys track and field. And our athletes of the year are Cameron Hatler from Eatonville High School, Sawyer Dagan from Steilacoom High School, and Cruz Corbin from Lakes High School. Let's move on to boys soccer. And our athlete of the year is Holden Burchett from Puyallup High School. Our final Session 2 sport is boys swimming and diving. And our athlete of the year is Leland Baltazar from Puyallup High School. Once again, let's extend a big in-house round of applause for our Session 2 TAC Athletes of the Year. Our Session 3 Athletes of the Year are next, and the Session 3 sports were boys and girls basketball, gymnastics, boys tennis in Session 3, boys swim and dive, girls bowling, boys and girls water polo, and also boys and girls wrestling. Let's start with girls basketball. And we have two recipients, and they are Juliana Walker from Annie Wright Schools and Jocelyn Wyatt from Wilson High School. In boys basketball, again, the TAC has two recipients, and they are Connor Drinkwine from Emerald Ridge High School and Dylan Preston from Bonnie Lake High School. Next up is girls bowling, and our two athletes of the year are Riley Luring from Wilson High School and Julie Holm from Washington High School. Moving on to gymnastics, our athlete of the year is McKenna Kipp from Emerald Ridge High School. In girls water polo, our athlete of the year is Haley Davidson from Curtis. In boys water polo, our athlete of the year is Sean O'Boyle, also from Curtis. In boys tennis within Session 3, we have Brett Kelly from Bellarmine Prep. And in boys swim and dive, our athlete of the year is William Connor McFay from Stillicum High School. We have two girl wrestlers athletes of the year, and they are Joanna Vanderwood from Graham Kapowson High School, and also Claire DeCunio from White River High School. And last but not least, our male wrestler of the year is Caleb Zinn from Lakes High School. How about another great round of applause for our Session 3 Athletes of the Year. The best testament to our student athletes that we are honoring today is that even though we only select a few, each one of our high schools has many athletes of the year who provide student leadership, inspiration, and are a great positive influence to their classmates. Each one makes a difference within their school, community, and we honor and acknowledge these student athletes for their great accomplishments. It goes without saying that the success of our student athletes also comes from the dedication and commitment of their proud parents and families, their schools, their coaches, teachers, athletic directors, and administrators, and also our local sports officials. To extend a sincere thank you to our schools, here's a member of our TAC Athlete of the Year Committee, Tim Thompson, Athletic Director from Sumner, Bonnie Lake School District. Tim?
Well, hey, we would really love to thank all of our athletic directors, all of our coaches, all the support staff for helping us make it through a really difficult year, but still be able to recognize some great athletes. This has been a challenging year, but we made it through. And I think we made it through with getting all of our sports a season and getting all of our athletes a lot of competitions. And we're just really pleased and just really wanted to thank everybody for all their efforts and their support. We know it wasn't easy. We know it wasn't perfect, but it was the best we could do.
Well, wonderful. Thank you, Tim. And again, congratulations to you on your recent retirement after 41, count them, 41 years of service to the students, athletes, and coaches within the community there at Sumner and Bonnie Lake High School within that district. And all of Tim's 41 years were right there in Sumner and Bonnie Lake. Congratulations, Tim, and thank you very much.
You bet. Thank you, Jay. I've had a great career. I've been very fortunate to be here. And again, been able to work with a lot of great people, a lot of great coaches, and we've seen a lot of great kids, both from our programs, but also be able to interact with our opponents and have some really great competition and great friendships develop.
Wonderful. That's the best of high school athletics. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. The TAC's Athlete of the Year Selection Committee would like you to meet the 2021 TAC Award winners and named scholarship winners. Our TAC scholarships include the Clay Huntington Sports Communication Scholarship, $2,500. Stan Nacarado Sports and Civic Betterment Scholarship, $2,500. The Clint Names Male and Female Multi-Sports Scholarships, $5,000 each. And the Tom Names Male and Female Inspirational Scholarships, $5,000 each. And the Sis and Scott Names TAC Male and Female Athlete of the Year Scholarships, which are $10,000 each. Once again, and as always, we are in deep gratitude, and we extend our sincere thanks to the Names Family Foundation, the Tom and Meg Names Family Foundation, for their perpetual support of our TAC student athletes. And here we go. The Clay Huntington Sports Communication Scholarship Award is presented in Clay's name. Clay started writing and broadcasting while a student at Lincoln High School right here in Tacoma. While attending the College of Puget Sound, he worked for the Tacoma Times and also KMO Radio. He was one of the founders of the Tacoma Athletic Commission, the first voice of the Tacoma Tigers, and broadcasted the Tacoma Rockets hockey games. A former Harris County Commissioner and founder of the State of Washington Sports Hall of Fame, Clay-owned radio station KLAY, one of the last stations to cover Tacoma high school and college sports. The Clay Huntington Scholarship Award is a TAC-funded effort dedicated to Clay's name, in his name, to assist worthy Tacoma Harris County high school students in their pursuit of journalism or broadcasting at the college of their choice. This year, we have 2 Clay Huntington Award recipients. And first up is Joey Vaughn from Bellarmine Prep. This past spring, Joey lined up behind the batters and in front of the umpires as the catcher for the Bellarmine Prep baseball team. He also plays ball for the Tugs Premier Baseball team and presently for the Garcia-Opara Baseball Group. As much as he loves playing ball, he also has an affinity for the microphone, as he is the announcer for the Bellarmine Men's Junior Varsity basketball games and the JV and C football teams. Joey does not sit back on his laurels as a player and announcer only, but he is also committed to pursuing his craft by job shadowing with the Tacoma Rainiers in public relations, media, sales, strength and conditioning, athletic training, and creative and marketing departments. And as if that's not enough to keep him busy, Joey also has done collegiate coursework in the Sports Industry Management Academy at Georgetown University, summer immersion program in sports marketing at Wake Forest University, and the Summer Scholars online program of Moneyball, the analytics of sports at the University of Notre Dame. To top it all off, Joey is co-founder and co-host of Carpool Sports Insights podcasts. In the volunteer arena, giving back to society, Joey is involved in Let Others Play, a group that collects sports equipment and provides the gear to those in need, as well as Courts for Kids, a student group from Bellarmine that traveled to Panama and built a sports court for the local youth. Now let's meet Joey, a young man that Clay would be so proud of.
Thank you. I really appreciate the Tacoma Athletic Commission choosing me for such a great award. It means a lot just to understand what it all means.
Wonderful, Joey. So look, tell us, you've got such an amazing portfolio of sports interests, so much variety, lots of depth. What's been motivating? What's been the motivating factor that started you down this road of involvement in sports on such a broad range of activities? Beyond just playing and participating in sports.
Just sports have been a key force in my life, whether, as you mentioned, playing them or even beyond it with the sports communication and such. I feel I've learned a lot of important life lessons from them. And plus, it's just interesting. Every game is a story. And so you're just watching it unfold. And every chance you have to be a part of it, whether you're on the field playing or covering it off, it's really interesting to see.
Yeah. So it certainly seems like you've been involved in a number of different sports through the years, but baseball's your passion. Is that correct?
Yeah, baseball is currently I play for my high school team at Bellarmine Prep and also a club for GBG. And that's just been fun getting out there again, especially after not having as many games last year with COVID. But this year it's been really fun.
You bet. So, Joey, you've shown great interest and involvement in playing sports, publicly announcing games, your varied volunteer activities, educational experiences. Do you have an overall driving philosophy or theme as to how all of these kind of connect to you in your active world?
Well, for just the participation thing, it's everything so far that I've tried in sports. I really don't remember something I didn't like. So kind of just going forth and exploring new opportunities and activities. I've really loved those. And then you touched on the volunteering aspect, kind of understanding just the difference sports have made in my life. And so if possible, I want to help try to make that same difference in others.
So you've been involved in numerous volunteer activities. Tell us about one that's probably closest to your heart or you're most involved with at this point.
Thank you. So yeah, for that, I'd probably say let others play. So just for a quick background, a few years ago, I went on a mission trip to Panama for Courts for Kids, and we helped build a basketball court with the local community. That was just a great overall experience to really get to see, especially the kids after we finished the court, the joy in their eyes. So really, after coming home from that, I looked and saw how big of a difference sports have made in my life, as well as it seems to make in theirs. So I started Let Others Play, which is a service club that collects sports gear for the local community. We've had 3 really successful drives to places like the Boys and Girls Club and the Wishing Well. And so just through that, being able to give back, the sports have given so much to me to try to give at least some of that back to others.
Great. Wonderful volunteerism, Joey. So look at you've been in some press boxes. You've met some sports announcers. Do you have a favorite box that you've been in? A favorite stadium? A favorite sports venue?
It's hard. There's been a lot of great moments, although I'll say Cheney Stadium is just fun to be in there, doing the game notes or whatever I'm doing in there and just watching the game. It's always a great atmosphere in there.
Do you like the outdoor facility more so than being inside somewhere with a roof over your head? Does that make a difference?
I guess a little bit if it's
grass.
a little bit, I guess, if it's like colder or rainy, but really I'm just glad to be there. And I love sports, whether it's indoor or outdoor. I'm fine with it wherever.
Wonderful. Now, I'd anticipate that you follow a few teams, maybe have a few favorites in various sports. What teams are they, and what is it then about these teams that captures your allegiance?
Okay, well, obviously you mentioned earlier baseball, and really in baseball, obviously, first of all, the Mariners being the hometown team and just doing some work with them. It's just always fun to see them, especially now with the young up-and-coming team with players like Jared Kelenic and then in the minors, Julio Rodriguez. So it's just always fun to see the young guys out there. And then obviously the mix of veterans. Ichiro growing up was a big player for me, for the Mariners. And then also my other favorite team is the Yankees because of my grandpa being a big Yankee fan. And so there I'm going to have to say Derek Jeter, just watching the way he carried himself both on and off the field.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. So you're a big picture guy, Joey, looking into your crystal ball view of the future, where do you kind of hope to see yourself, when you get through with school and through your education? What do you see being your life passion in the work world?
In terms of the work world, I think I want to do something within the sports world, although I'm not sure yet. Kind of as you mentioned earlier, with exploring different stuff, what I'm trying to do now is get a taste of as much of the sports world as I can, whether it's in the public relations department, announcing, analytics, kind of wherever that takes me. Just I really have a passion for sports, but then in a larger sense, also business is what I'm looking to major into potentially.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, you've done a remarkable job of balancing all those activities: education, athletics, volunteerism, and your passion for sports, certainly. So, Joey, there must be some people that you'd kind of like to thank for their assistance, in helping you reach the success that you've had and that you've displayed at such an early age. Who would you like to acknowledge?
Yeah, definitely. There's lots of people. Obviously, first of all, my parents just always supporting me, especially when I was younger, giving me rides to different places, driving all over the place. Same with my grandparents, just always being supportive, coming to as many games as they can. My various coaches who I've had throughout the years, all of them have worked to help make me the best, not only player I can be, but also person. And that's something that's really big for me, is looking at the whole picture. And yeah, just my friends also for creating a positive environment. I mean, the list goes on and on. I wouldn't be here without any of them. And so thank you.
You betcha. Wonderful, Joey. Well, once again, congratulations to you, your family, Joey, for being the 2021 TAC recipient of the Clay Huntington Sports Communication Scholarship. Joey, there's no doubt that Clay would have proudly handed you his microphone over to you so you could co-host one of his great sports castings. Congratulations again, Joey.
Thank you.
Our second Clay Huntington Award recipient is Liberty Tucker, a senior and a White River High School Hornet. Liberty's extracurricular activities are extensive, as she is involved in many sports, including White River High School varsity fast pitch, Diamond Duster Club fast pitch, all 4 years, varsity volleyball 2 years, varsity cheer 2 years, ASB executive board, freshman to sophomore class president, leadership, and also yearbook. Her civic involvement includes Daffodil Princess, Key Club member 4 years, Key Club treasurer, National Honor Society, coach for recreational kids sports, t-ball, and volleyball coaching. Liberty has much to say about how sports have impacted her life, stating that one of the most important things that sports have taught me is the importance of teamwork and communication. She grew up watching sports constantly and felt like the only channel on TV was ESPN. She's inspired by the way that sports can unite us all as a common ground for all people. At the grassroots level, Liberty says that she loves the sound of a solid line drive coming off the bat, or the smell of fresh grass stains on your uniform. Liberty plans on attending Baylor University next fall, and as of right now, her plan is to major in journalism and eventually segue that into a career in sports journalism. If not journalism, she may study biology. It is considering pre-medicine. Most importantly, Liberty is committed to spending the rest of her life watching and documenting the passions others have for sports and within sports. Now let's meet Liberty and find out more about this young student athlete.
Hello, thanks for having me here today. It's an honor.
Well, thank you, Liberty. It's great to have you with us, and most importantly, Liberty, we know that you're committed to spending the rest of your life watching and documenting the passions that others have for sports and within sports. So let's get to know you a little bit better here with a few questions. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Again, congratulations, Liberty.
Thank you.
I'd like to start by hearing A little bit more about your philosophy. You talk a lot about philosophy that you feel sports have the opportunity, within sports, we have the opportunity to bring people together and maybe even, in fact, unite us. Expound upon that a little bit for us, please.
Yes. So, especially today's day and age, people are so divided and there's not a lot of common ground between people. And I feel like with sports, no matter where you're from or your background or who you are and what you believe in, you have a common ground. Whether I know I talked about in my essay a little bit, whether because I'm going to Baylor in the fall, whether it's a Sikkim Bears or finding someone that's wearing like a common sports jersey or someone that you're even playing on the same sports team with, you have common ground, and that starts the process of uniting people, because with that, from that, you start with that little seed, and then from that little seed you can expand, and then you really get to know the person and realize, wow, we do have a lot more in common than I originally thought. So that's why I think sports are so incredible, because they do give people the chance to get to know each other better, and it's a common icebreaker for people.
You bet. So, Liberty, you've obviously met a lot of people through sports and also through all your other activities. Can you think of an experience or two where this has actually happened to you, where you have met somebody outside of maybe your normal comfort zone and this has played out well?
Yes. So the first thing that comes to mind immediately is I've played club fast pitch since I was a freshman in high school. And my freshman year, I played 14U club fast pitch for the Diamond Dusters. And I think of that team, I was one of the oldest girls on that team. And honestly, even to this day, I still know those girls and play with quite a few of them. But when I think of that connection our team had, we were sisters. We were so bonded and united. And we were all so different. Like quite a few girls were younger and we're all from different areas. And none of us knew each other when we started the season. We were all a bunch of complete strangers. And I love telling this story because when we started this season, I think we had lost 15 games in a row. We hadn't won a single tournament. We were horrible. And our coach sat us down and he's like, I love this quote because I use this quote still to this day. We need to control the controllables. And I feel like one of those was finding our common ground, and our common ground was all of our love for fast pitch and sports. And we ended up bonding and uniting, and we ended up winning second in nationals that year. And I still love those girls to this day. And like this weekend, I'm having my graduation party, and I'm pretty sure almost every single one of them will be coming to see me off.
Well, that's a wonderful, wonderful story. As you state, no matter what in society, there are so many things that bond us and keep us together, and we focus on those. We're all better within our community. What are the things you've been involved in within your community other than just specifically about sports?
So I'm very involved in my school. Well, now my past school, I'm an alumni now, but my leadership program and ASB, I'm super passionate about school spirit and getting involved. I'm a firm believer and you have to be the change you want to see. And so I was super involved in ASB and class officers all 4 years throughout high school and leadership. I am serving this year as my school's Daffodil Princess. So I'm very honored to have served my community and be an ambassador for Pierce County through that. I've served in NHS and Key Club and lots of community service. I'm pretty sure I have no free time because if I do, I'm spending it doing community service or playing sports.
You bet. I believe you said you have to be the person you want to see. Is that correct?
The change you want to see. Yes.
Change you want to see. Tell us a little bit more about that. That's a wonderful quote.
I think that it's easy for people to sit around and just say, oh, things should be run this way, or we should all act this way. But if you aren't actively preaching and practicing what you're saying, then I think it's a waste of time. So I think if you want to see more stuff in your community, or you want an event planned a little bit differently, or you want people to be nicer, then you need to go out and start the movement. You need to start the change and be heading that up.
Wonderful. Wonderful philosophies.
Thank you.
Liberty. Tell us about some of the people who have helped and assisted you in your developmental years in school, sports, your philosophy, and everything else within your community.
Yes. So there's so many. I have to narrow it down real quick. Give me a second. But the first person I was talking about earlier with my fast pitch coach, he's my current fast pitch coach actually too, but he was the 14U one I was just discussing. His name's Brian Pipitone, and he has just been so monumental in my life because he's helped with, like I said, his philosophy, control the controllables, has really stuck with me because I feel like that plays into a lot of everything else I've been talking about. But you only have control over your situation. And he originally taught us that, talking about fast pitch. Like, if you get a line drive hit to the gap in the middle of the outfield, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. You just gotta go get it and run as fast as you can. But it also applies to so many aspects of life. And so and then he's always just been so supportive. I also think immediately of obviously my family. I'm very lucky to have such a supportive family. And sorry, I might get a little emotional about this, but I'm just so lucky. And the past year I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and I immediately think of my mom because she's become like my personal nurse and just has helped me so much with overcoming that and learning how to manage that. And sorry, I'm just so thankful for her and all of the love and support she's given me. Yeah, I'm just so thankful for my family because not only have they supported me through my sports and everything I've done throughout high school, but in all of my future endeavors too. So like when I've always wanted to go to an out-of-state college. And so when I told them I want to go to Baylor, they were the first ones like, yes, do it. Let's go visit there. Let's go find out everything we can about them. And now I'm pretty sure my dad only ever wears Baylor gear, or at least one part of his outfit is always Baylor gear. But yeah, they're just so supportive, and I'm so thankful for them.
Well, wonderful, Liberty. You know, your enthusiasm is so infectious, and it's obviously so sincere. Congratulations again to you, your family,
Thank you.
for being named our 2021 TAC recipient of the Clay Huntington Sports Communication Scholarship. Liberty, from all of us at TAC, we know Clay, and we know that Clay would have been most proud of you receiving this scholarship in his name. Congratulations again, Liberty.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate this and this incredible opportunity. Thank you.
The Stan Nacarado Sports and Civic Betterment Award is being presented in Stan's honor as Mr. Tacoma, the man who saved Pacific Coast League baseball in our community, the man who also spearheaded the financing campaign for a dome of our own. This award goes each year to a student who best exemplifies Stan's passion and commitment to sports and civic betterment within our Tacoma Pierce County community. And the TAC 2021 Stan Nacarado Sports and Civic Betterment Award goes to Henry Stent from Curtis High School. Henry's list of civic involvement is quite extensive. It includes Families United Network Food Bank, Tacoma Nature Center Teen Counselor, Bricks for Kids Camp Counselor, Chambers Primary, Sunset Primary, Evergreen Primary, and UP Primary Event Volunteer. Citizens for a Healthy Bay in the Puget Sound Waterway Cleanup. Metro Parks Cleanup. University Place Apple Orchard Fall and Spring Cleanups. Adaptive Sports Wheelchair Basketball Volunteer. Metro Parks Annual Holiday Cruise for individuals with special needs. And the CHS Service Awards, CHS Volunteer Service Varsity Letters. The community service project that captured Henry's spirit of giving and living the ideal of Stan was volunteering at the Families United Food Bank, FUN for fun. Henry describes his volunteering story this way: go ahead and take that cart right there. I must have repeated that phrase 9,000 times over the years working at the food bank, yet somehow it never felt repetitive. Which started as a selfish endeavor to complete 50 hours of service requirements grew into a genuine dedication to the selfless service to others. Volunteering at the Families United Network Food Bank, I call it FUN for short, has had the most meaningful impact on my young life. Henry also states, wherever my passions take me, I would like to continue my tradition of service to the community around me. One way I would like to do that is through sports. Sports have made a massive impact on my life and the young man I have become. So I would like to become a youth sports coach in order to provide opportunities for the next generation that I was so fortunate to have. Stan would be so proud of you, Henry, and congratulations. And here's Henry live and in person to answer a few questions for us.
Thank you very much for having me.
You bet. So, Henry, you've accomplished so much in the arena of volunteerism on top of being an excellent student, such a successful and active sports participant. With the busy schedule that you're carrying on and everything, what was it that initially motivated you to get involved in volunteering within your community?
I think what initially motivated me was just, especially over this COVID pandemic,
Yeah.
I was sitting at home and I saw that clearly a lot of people in the community needed help. So I looked to the most local thing I knew, which was a food bank right down the street from my house. And I started volunteering there 3 days a week.
Yeah, wonderful. COVID's brought a new world in for all of us, certainly you students in school. So you've participated in sports and athletics surrounded by water polo, swimming, and diving. Do you feel that your participation in these sports has added or instilled some of your drive to get involved in volunteerism and giving back to your community?
Certainly. I mean, I think water polo and swim is, I saw like the senior class. When I was a freshman, I saw the seniors. They were mentors to me. They really meant a lot. They brought me in. I mean, I had never played water polo before, and they were like a family to me. And I think when I look at my community, you know, I can be like almost like a senior to them, a mentor. So through volunteering, I can help other people who need assistance, like I did my first day of water polo.
Yeah. Well stated. Training for water polo certainly is strenuous, and being a part of a team at school certainly plays out to being part of a team within our community. And we congratulate for all of your service there.
Thank you very
So,
much.
you bet. Henry, you've spoken about your lessons and coursework in Spanish and how important that has been to your educational development. Tell us how you hope to use language to better yourself as a professional and also within your community.
Well, I think so. I've taken 4 years of Spanish at Curtis, and I mean, recently, just last month, I was the most recent time I was volunteering at the food bank, and I used Spanish. There was a customer who didn't know how to speak English, but I was able to use my Spanish skills. I was able to help her out and get her what she needed. But looking into the future, I think I'll be able to use my Spanish skills in similar ways, because it seems Spanish speakers are underrepresented community in our area, and whatever I can do to help them, I'll use my talents to do that.
Well stated, Henry. We know around the world, most people are multilingual. It's wonderful to know that you've dedicated yourself to doing the same. So, Henry, certain that with the way that you love to give back, that there must be a number of people in your life that you would like to acknowledge for their support of you and also of your educational experiences.
Yeah, I'd like to thank my mom, my dad, my siblings, because some of them, Anders and Merritt, they volunteer at the food bank with me. Steve at the food bank, he's the director, very nice guy. Coach Picolato for being a great coach for the past 4 years, and all the teachers who supported me in my high school career.
Yeah. Wonderful, Henry. So many people for all of us to be thankful for within our community, within our schools, and within our families. And you've captured all of those. So, Henry, again, congratulations to you, to your family, to your school for being named the recipient of the 2021 Stan Nacarado Sports and Civic Betterment Award.
Thank you very much for awarding me.
Let's continue with the Clinton names, multi-sport scholarships. Clinton was an all-state hoopster for the Stadium High School state champions of 1959. He was also captain of the University of Washington Husky basketball team and also conference champion in golf. He was also a 12-time Furcrest Golf Club champion. In our 2021 Clinton names, female Multi-Sports Excellence Award Scholarship recipient is Ella Borsheim, a junior from Bellarmine Prep. Ella has been a phenomenal runner for Bellarmine over the past seasons, leading the Bellarmine program as a prototypical student athlete in both track and field as well as cross country. She has excelled in the classroom and also in competition on the track. She demands the best for herself and also from her teammates. Ella won the SPSL individual title with a time of 17:44, becoming the third girl in league history to break 18 minutes on the course. Ella is one of the few distance runners in the state to have accomplished so very, very much. She is SPSL champion in the 1600 and 3200 meter race, 2019 state 4A cross country champion. She continues to excel in the classroom and on the track. Ella is the best example of a Bellarmine Prep student athlete. Her coaches and her teachers say this and that they have seen through the last years. She has been one of the top runners in Washington for her entire high school career with one more year to go. Ella leads by example and is a great mentor to all of the young runners at Bellarmine Prep. Now, there's no doubt that Ella is Clint's type of multi-sport student athlete. And here's Ella with some words for us.
Thank you so much.
So Ella, you've had such an amazing career in both track and field and cross country. Can you share with us a most memorable race, event, period in your career that stands out for you?
I think that this year was really special for me for many reasons, but I think just coming off of a really weird COVID year where we had a lot of competitions canceled, and I was lucky to still be able to train. I know that a lot of sports were like completely sidelined, but just coming back and getting opportunities to race again and do what I love has been really special and so much fun. So I think, it really helped me appreciate competitions a lot more. So this year has been really, really cool.
Yeah, that's wonderful, Ella. So track, cross country, track. Do you feel that participating in both sports has been beneficial to your career?
Yeah, I mean, they obviously go hand in hand, but they are quite different, but I really enjoy them both. A lot of times people ask me, oh, which one do you like better? And I don't really have a favorite. I really like doing both.
So Ella, you don't have a favorite. Do you find that one is a bit more of a challenge for you?
I think they're challenging in different ways. Cross country is obviously more like terrain. There's a lot of hills to deal with. And so that's challenging in its own way, but track can be a lot more strategic. So it's a whole different mindset.
Uh-huh. So it's a different mindset. Do you find that you train differently for each sport also then?
Yeah, a little bit differently. Yeah. Most of our training for cross country doesn't happen on the track. It happens on trails, or we do hill workouts, or we do our workouts at parks. But yeah, during track, we do, specific track workouts that help train us for whatever distance we're training for.
You bet. So Ella, you still have another year in high school, which is wonderful. Do you see that when you move on to college that you may have to choose one versus the other, or do you look for a school that will allow you to do both? And how challenging would it be to have to make a choice?
Yeah, I think that I'll be able to do both in college. They're different seasons, and most people who run in college do both track and cross country unless they're more of a sprinter, then they don't. But I'm more middle distance to distance, so I'll definitely do both.
Okay, Ella, training. So how many days a week do you run? How far do you run?
Well, it definitely depends on the day. We have specific workout days where we do like intervals or like race specific work. And then we also have easy days where we just go for runs. But usually I run every day. I really like it. So it's not hard for me to just do it every day. And so, I'll take a day off here and there, but most of the time, 7 days a week.
So it's gorgeous outside. Summertime's upon us. When you just run for fun by yourself, do you run alone? Do you run with a group of other students? Or how do you go about just enjoying the fun of running?
Yeah, I run with other people sometimes. I do end up doing a lot by myself, which I enjoy as well. But I do like running with other people. I run with my coaches sometimes because they're good runners. And so, I'll run with our guys team or some of our girls sometimes. But yeah, it's fun.
You bet. So Bellarmine Prep's had a phenomenal history of distance runners throughout the years. You've been inspired by any particularly? Are there any runners you look up to, either Bellarmine Prep or Olympics coming up this summer? Are there any people that you watch specifically just to enjoy?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of people at Bellarmine that I look up to. Bellarmine's had a great history of producing a lot of good distance runners. And so there's definitely a lot of people that I look after and I'm chasing their times and stuff. But particularly my coach, Nicole O'Loughlin, she ran for Bellarmine and she was really successful there. And now she runs with me a lot. And so she's been a great role model for me. But yeah, there's definitely, with the trials coming up, I've been watching a lot of the NCAA meets and watching some pro races too. It's definitely like a busy time in track and field. So I'm really looking forward to watching the trials and the Olympics.
You bet. So you mentioned your coach. So parents, teachers, coaches, there must be some people that you wish to recognize for their assistance so far with your great career.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I definitely couldn't have done this alone. I have such a great support system. My parents have always been there for me. I have great coaches and teachers and friends that, are always there for me. And, I really couldn't have done any of this without them. So, I definitely want to thank them.
Wonderful, Ella. And again, congratulations from all of us at the TAC. We're most proud of you, and we congratulate you for being the 2021 Clinton Ames Multi-Sport Athlete of the Year.
Thank you so much.
Jahan is Clint's kind of multi-sport athlete for sure. Jahan, now it's time to hear from you. So, Jahan, multi-sports, golf and cross country. Yeah. Somehow those two are not natural cousins. Knowing that golf is your primary passion, how'd you come about to participate in cross country?
Well, I started in 8th grade because all my friends were doing it. So it kind of just happened. I was on the 8th grade team. I wasn't very good, but kind of fell in love with running and I continued into high school.
Oh, wonderful. So do you still run now that your cross-country season is over?
I'm not as serious, but I'll go out every now and then and just run for a little bit with my friends.
Wonderful. So golf in and of itself is such a consuming sport time-wise. What would you consider to be kind of your home course, or what courses or golf venues have you most enjoyed during your golf career?
Well, our high school practices at Chambers Bay, which is a huge honor. It's a lot of fun to go down there. It's only half a mile from school, so we get out there quite a bit after school. Stay quite late in the evening sometimes, but it's a lot of fun down there.
Chambers Bay. Not many high schools have the home of a U.S. Open course to be their practice facility.
Yeah, it's great.
Is there a 9 that you enjoy more there, or a hole that you particularly enjoy at Chambers Bay?
I think the back 9 is great. Hole 16 is probably my favorite, right along the water there. Short, drivable hole. It's a lot of fun.
Yes, 16. That starts with the tree, and it's got kind of narrows as you get down to the green, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wonderful. So what's your best score on hole 16?
I think birdie. I haven't gotten down there and won and drained the putt yet, but
Yeah.
I think that's
It's kind of a risk reward hole, isn't it?
yeah.
Now, for those of us who play golf or attempt to do so, it's such an emotional sport as well as a physical game. Share with us any psychological strategy or a tool that kind of helps you get through the tough stretches that always present themselves in golf.
Well, I really try to stay kind of even keeled, not get too high or too low. That usually helps me, but I think a lot of neutral self-talk really helps, saying, yep, I can do this. I can get through this hole. I think that really helps, especially when it's not going so well.
Now, you bring up an interesting philosophical phrase here, neutral self-talk. Tell us a little bit about what that is.
Well, a lot of people talk about positive self-talk, and I think that sometimes comes across as fake, or, it's kind of hard to do when you're not feeling so well. But if you're neutral, it's more genuine, I feel. So you can kind of believe it more.
Yeah, and you don't get into the highs and lows of the sport. You stay kind of well-keeled and ready to go. Wonderful. So, Jahan, we all have heroes or people in sports that we look up to. Maybe you model yourself after somebody or admire somebody. Kind of, who's your go-to guy? Who's the person that you look to kind of model yourself after?
Golf-wise, I definitely say, it's kind of cliche, but Tiger Woods. Everyone kind of looks up to him. It's what he's done is quite impressive. So I'd say Tiger Woods for sure. But another one is Jordan Spieth. I saw him at Chambers Bay at the U.S. Open back in 2015, and he was just so even-keeled, and it was very impressive to see.
Absolutely. Won the U.S. Open on your home practice course. Pretty awesome. So, John, do you have a favorite golf book that you kind of enjoy, either from a technical assistance or a mental component or just for fun?
I've not really gone into golf books that much. I know there's a few Jack Nicklaus books sitting around at my house that I'll look at every now and then, but I've never really gotten into the golf book.
Okay, John. Not the golf books. How about a golf movie?
Golf movie. I'd say Happy Gilmore is probably one of the best ones. Love
just
that.
For the fun of it, huh?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Jahan, please share with us some of the people that you'd like to acknowledge and thank for their role in helping you achieve all the success that you have academically within your school and also on the golf links.
Definitely. First, my parents. Wouldn't be out here without them. And next, my golf coach, Nick Bivens. He was instrumental in my success the last 4 years. As well as my cross-country coach, Ryan Johnson. He's pushed me so hard and inspired me to become better. Those 4 are the main ones. And shout out to my co-captain, my cross-country team, Nicholas. We push each other so hard. I think we're tied in the number of times I've beaten him and he's beaten me. So we're kind of going at it back and forth, which kind of drives us to become better. So
sounds like true competition.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So for those of us that follow golf, well, let's keep our eyes open as Jahan moves on to Lehigh, the home of the Mountain Hawks, and continues with his golf career. So Clint Ames was a most outstanding golfer and a humble person. He would be so proud to have known that you, Jahan, are the one that has your name on his award as the recipient of the Clint Ames 2021 Multi-Sport Athlete for Tacoma Athletic Association. Congratulations again to you, your family, and your school.
Thank you.
Next are the Tom Ames Inspirational Athlete of the Year Awards. Tom was a Stadium High School grad and UPS four-year letterman in basketball, as well as a Furcrest Golf Club champion. He was a longtime TAC member, and one of his last wishes was to generously and significantly impact the importance of the TAC Athlete of the Year program. In our 2021 Female Inspirational Athlete of the Year recipient is Zoe DeVinny from Bonnie Lake High School. Zoe won undefeated in league meets and the league championship meet in the events in the 800 meter, 1600 meter, 3200 meter races. In cross country this past season, she was outstanding, going undefeated, and was named our TAC Athlete of the Year for girls cross country. Zoe was named Athlete of the Week from the WIAA, PCL Distance Athlete of the Year, the PCL Mid Distance Athlete of the Year, and Bonnie Lake's team leading point getter. On top of school and athletics, Zoe holds a full-time job and also maintains a 3.92 GPA. Her coaches characterize her by stating, Zoe has been such a good role model to the distance team. Her work ethic is really off the charts, and she leads by example. Zoe is humble and truly wants to help others to get better. Zoe puts in the extra time outside of practice to maintain her high level of success. All of her teammates and opponents simply like Zoe. She has made a commitment to the College of Idaho. She is certainly a Tom Ames type of inspirational student athlete for sure. Congratulations to Zoe DeVinny.
Thank you.
You betcha. Zoe, obviously you're a runner. You love to run, being cross country and a track star. Is there a run, a course, an event that you have enjoyed the most during your running career?
I'd say the event I enjoy the most is the 800 meter run, just because I have a good speed background because I did distance my freshman year, but I also have the endurance from doing cross country. So it's the one race where I can really combine the two and show my strengths in both events.
The 800 meter, yeah, that's a tough run. When the runners are through with the 800 meter, you can see that they're gasping for some air, but you enjoy that, huh?
Yeah.
Wonderful. So it's been a challenging year for all athletes, coaches, ADs this past year. You know, sometimes out of some bad and challenging aspects of life, one can find some good. What do you find to be the most challenging aspects of the past year, year and a half? And then can you share an experience that you found to be positive over the course of the past year?
Yeah, for sure. So I found it very difficult when my junior year of state was canceled because I trained that whole year. I made it to state in the 800 my sophomore year, and I just didn't race smart that day. And so I finally got the chance to redeem myself, and it was taken away from me because of COVID. And so it was really unfortunate when that happened because I worked all year for this. It was the one thing I was looking forward to. And so after that, it was really hard to keep motivation, to keep training. But then I found all these virtual meets for cross country. So I was like, okay, I can't compete in the 800, but I can still redeem myself for cross country. I had the goal of getting my time down to a 19 flat, and I actually ran an 18:48 in a virtual 5K meet.
So Zoe, you got to tell us about a virtual meet. How does that work?
Yes, so Nike Cross they usually do an in-person nationals meet, but this year due to COVID, they did it remotely. And so they did it so anyone can try to qualify. And then they picked a certain number of individuals from each region that could advance to the national meet that they were having. So you ran it on your own, whatever course you wanted. It had to be an out and back to level out for uphills and downhills and such, but you just ran it on your own and then you submit your time. And it was really cool because you could see all these great runners from across the state still continuing to train even during these difficult times. So it was a really good opportunity.
Yeah, wonderful. There you go. Out of some bad can come some good. So, Zoe, off the track, you're also a very philanthropic person. Please tell us about, a few of your favorite charities and your volunteer activities.
Yeah, for sure. So lately with COVID, all of our local blood banks have been very short on blood lately. So I've been donating blood every 56 days. And so I'm actually almost in the 1 gallon club. So that's 8 times. And so that's been my favorite event so far. And then second to that would be volunteering at the food bank, because you just get to meet so many different people from so many different backgrounds. And it's just really nice knowing that you're making a difference in your neighbors' lives. Not like you get to actually see the impact that you're making.
Wonderful. So is there something that inspired you to initially get involved in these activities, Zoe?
I just really have a passion for helping people because I know what it's like to be in a difficult spot. And when you have other people help you out while you're in hard times, it just makes your life that much easier. And so if I can spare just a little bit of my time out of my day to help make someone else's day easier, then I'm always willing to do that.
Wonderful. So it looks like maybe your plans for the future are still up in the air a little bit. Have you made a final decision as to where you're going to go to school?
Yes, so this fall, I'll be attending the College of Idaho, and I'll be running for their track and cross country teams. I plan on majoring in pre-medicine, and I've gotten in contact with the coach and my counselor, and everyone there seems super nice. So I'm really excited to start this next chapter.
Wonderful. Zoe, so tell us about who the people are that helped you the most during your athletic and academic career to be the person that you've become.
Definitely the person that's helped me the most has been my coach, Judy Ravel. I was very new to distance. I didn't know what I was doing at all. I didn't know that a mile was considered a warm-up. And she taught me everything that I know now. She taught me the importance of stretching, how to properly, nutrition, stretching, warm-up. She taught me everything I know. And if it wasn't for her, I don't think I would have the skill that I have today.
Yeah, wonderful. Anybody from school or within your family?
My mom's always supported me whenever I come home, and she would just tell me good job no matter what. If I had a bad day, she would always tell me, oh, you did your best, good job. And so just having her encourage me after every single meet or every single practice has really helped me to keep going.
That's wonderful. So thank you for the inspiration for all of us. A mile is just a warm-up. You gotta think about that one, and that'll inspire us. So thank you. And again, congratulations to you, your family, and your school for all of your wonderful achievements and for being honored as the Tom Names Female Inspirational Athlete of the Year. Congratulations, Zoe.
Thank you.
Next is the Tom Names Male Inspirational Athlete of the Year Award. And our recipient is Sam Zilke from Puyallup High School. Sam leads with his words, actions, and deeds. Always early to practice and the first to volunteer. He was always there for his team. His hard work and dedication have resulted in him being one of the fastest high school cross-country runners in the South Sound. Sam was all league, multiple years, state qualifier 2 years, team captain, leader, helps others with their races. He leads warm-ups and cool-downs. When allowed, he would stand at the end of the chute and shake the hand with every competitor until the very last athlete had finished. In the eyes of Sam, everyone in the race deserves to be recognized as they all ran the same race. Sam qualified to run in the state meet as an individual in 2018 and as part of the team in 2019. He's been instrumental in keeping the team running during COVID. He kept running and would remind and encourage others to keep running. Sam would have finished in the top 5 at the SPSL League meet in 2020 and would have again qualified for state if the state would have been run. Sam enlisted in the Army in plans to run at either the University of Puget Sound or Pacific Lutheran University in order to stay in his unit out at JBLM. He joined the military as a way to pay for his college education. Now, if that alone isn't inspirational, what is? Sam has been an inspiration to his team, his coach, and his teachers, and to all of us at the Tacoma Athletic Commission.
Hello, my name is Sam Zilke. I actually graduated from Puyallup High School this last weekend before I came here where I am now, as well as Pierce College. So I have both my diploma and associate's degree. During my time as a student at Puyallup High School, which is the school I graduated from, I ran varsity cross country and track and field for 4 years. I did a little smidge of wrestling, though in reality I run year round, at least when I'm able to, meaning when I'm at home, because as you may be able to tell, I'm in an Army training center for my advanced individual training at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. I've had the pleasure, I actually already did basic training. I've had the pleasure of attending Fort Sill basic training before my junior year, and now I'm here doing my job training after graduating. And just lastly, I want to thank a good chunk of people. First of all, being my coach, who usually just goes by Monahan, and everybody who knows her will know why and know what I mean. That's a well enough description for her. She's awesome, amazing coach, pushed me to be a better runner, a better person, a better student, just about a better all-around human being. And so I really want to say thank you to her for developing me as a person for the 5 odd years that I've known her as a coach, as well as gotten to know her various and quite interesting family. I'd also like to thank the members of my Bible study group who have pushed me to hone my my spirit as well as my physical abilities. These guys have been doing life with me, and I just kind of want to give them a shout out for everything they've done to help me grow as a person as well. And of course, lastly, how could I not thank my parents for caring about me and nurturing me, giving me a place to stay, pushing me to grow even further, giving me good role models in the form of my brother, for one, and his friends, of whom have also had great impact on me. And really, that's all. I suppose someone else I should thank is certainly the Tacoma Athletic Commission for giving me this award and blessing me through naming me as the Tom Ames Inspirational Athlete, or one of. And so thank you to all of you who were instrumental in that decision. I certainly very much appreciate it, and I hope that I can, moving forward, continue to live on in that light as an inspirational athlete and person all around. Thank you.
We are now down to our 2021 Sis and Scott names, TAC Female and Male Athletes of the Year. Scott and Sis and family were honored by the TAC as the first family of sports in Tacoma back in 2007. Their contribution to sports, athletics, and facilities throughout Tacoma and Pierce County cannot and never will be underestimated or underappreciated. Their legacy lives on through their family and foundations, and the CIS names TAC Female Athlete of the Year in 2021 is Juliana Walker from Any Right Schools. CIS names would be so proud of her, and the TAC is too. Congratulations to Juliana Walker. Yes, she'll be on all the first teams of the state and league. Juliana will be recognized as the greatest scorer in Washington State history. But it's your positivity as a teammate that makes her such a wonderful player. Juliana is a pass first player who puts her teammates before herself and her own goals. Juliana is a Gatorade Player of the Year nominee, McDonald's All-American nominee, Nisqually League MVP 2020 and 2021, All-State Tournament Team, Tacoma News Tribune 2020 All-Area Team, and the all-time leading scorer in Washington State history for points per game. Juliana has changed the culture of basketball at Any Wright schools for the middle school and the high school programs. On a daily basis, Juliana shows her classmates that success is a product of hard work, and that hard work is simply a mindset. Prior to Juliana's freshman year, Any Wright school students did not use the gym outside of those assigned practice times. That's all changed as a new culture. The one that Juliana inspired is to show up early, during breaks, lunch, and so forth, and just shoot hoop for all Any Wright students of any age. The legacy of Juliana Walker will carry on for many, many more years because of the work ethic she instilled in younger aged students. Now, let's hear some words from the Syracuse University basketball commit, Juliana Walker. Juliana, congratulations. You've had such a remarkable and record-setting career. Please share with us how you became inspired to be the basketball star that you are.
Well, it all kind of started when I was around like 3 years old. My dad put a basketball in my hands, and it kind of just took off from there. Loved the game ever since. So, yeah.
3 years old. So what would you do? Just dribble the ball around the house? Did you have a short little hoop in the house, or how did that happen?
Yep, pretty much. Me and my little brother, we would just be dribbling around the house all the time, shooting hoops. My mom would have to like yell at us sometimes and be like, "Stop dribbling the ball in the house. Take it outside." But yeah, pretty much like that, yeah.
So then how about the first time you got into organized basketball? Tell us about what grade, at what age you were at that time and where at.
I was still pretty young. I played up to and against boys. So that kind of helped my basketball journey also, playing up and against boys. I played on a team with Jaden McDaniels, who is now in the NBA. He plays for Minnesota Timberwolves. So it's been a long ride.
Absolutely. Now, we've heard a lot about the role model and the mentor that you have become for younger Any Wright school students. How did all this come about? How did you instill the desire to shoot hoops within your school at lunch and before school, etc.?
Well, I am just like a loving, kind of caring person. I love to help others, and the little kids at Any Wright and just everywhere are just so darn cute. You gotta help them.
Wonderful. We've heard a lot about that. So great. So Juliana, Syracuse, New York. You'll be going there soon. A long ways from Tacoma, Washington. What is it about going to New York that sold you on this next step in your educational and athletic development?
Well, not only is Syracuse an amazing basketball program, I wanted to go there because of what I want to do after my basketball career, which is broadcast journalism, and they're the top school for that. So I figured, one of the best basketball programs, best school for what I want to do, seems like the right choice.
Wonderful. Broadcast journalism. So have you had some experiences in that already?
Yeah, a little bit in like middle school and stuff. I was like the sports update people, so it was pretty cool.
Wonderful. So, Juliana, how about sharing with us, a game, a play, a moment in time within your basketball career that you're kind of most proudful of?
Well, every time I'm on the court, I'm pretty proud of what I do, but I'd have to say one of my favorite memories was last year at state when there was 0.4 seconds, I believe, on the clock, and it was a tie game, and one of my teammates rolled the ball out to me, and I made, like, it was a little bit beyond the half court line, but I made the shot to win the game. And that was there. It was really, really crazy. Definitely my favorite moment. Couldn't have done it without my teammates for sure. But yeah.
Well, that's incredible. That may be a once in a lifetime experience, but congratulations on that. So you take that phenomenal shot and then the poise when a game's maybe on the line and you're shooting free throws. Do you have a little, what would it be, rhythm or a little mantra that you go through when you prepare to shoot a free throw? Because we know every close game is won and lost on the free throw line.
Yeah, that is true.
So is there something that you do? You dribble the ball once, twice? Do you say a little something to yourself to motivate you? Tell us what you do at the free throw line.
I usually take like 2 dribbles, spin the ball, 2 more dribbles, spin the ball, and then just relax myself, take a deep breath, and just shoot it. Go with the flow.
And you just wait for that sound, the swish. Amen. Very good. So, Juliana, obviously you've broken records, set new records, changed the culture within your school. Sure, you must have some people that you'd like to thank and recognize for their role in your success.
Yes. First and foremost, my family, my teammates, who are part of my family, the coaches, the AD, the entire Annie Wright community, even people outside of high school ball. Everyone has supported me so much, and I'm really thankful for that. Yeah.
That's wonderful. You know, Juliana, we're very, very proud of you, happy for you. And it's wonderful to get a chance to talk to you today, you know, and our TAC CIS Names Female Athlete of the Year for 2021 is you. And if CIS could see you now, she'd be so proud that you are carrying on her legacy here in Tacoma and Pierce County. So congratulations to Juliana Walker. And now it's time for our final award, the Scott Names TAC Male Athlete of the Year Award. And our Scott Names TAC Male Athlete of the Year is AJ Guerrero from Fife High School. AJ's been the starting shortstop at Fife High School since his freshman year. In his sophomore year, he led the team to the state championship as a hitter and was a significant contributor to the success of that team. AJ was all 2A MVP, all area and all state. If we had not had a COVID shutdown this last spring, AJ would have smashed career school records for hitting categories such as home runs, RBIs, average, SLG, and so forth at Fife High School. He's been an outstanding student and athlete for Fife High School. He would have been a 4-time All-State player without the COVID crisis. AJ has been a player coach for younger players in the Fife program also. He's humble, never cocky, and is quite quick to acknowledge his teammates as contributing to his success. AJ plans to attend the University of Washington to continue his love of baseball. AJ is also a top prospect for MLB draft coming up and has been a nationally recognized athlete. The Fife Trojans are proud of AJ, and the patriarch of the Names family, Scott, would be too. Congratulations from the TAC, and here's AJ with some insightful words for all of us. Starting off, AJ, congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You bet. AJ, baseball. Tell us about your early years in America's pastime. How did you first get into baseball? Tell us about your early years in the sport.
So when I was younger, like 5 years old, is when I started playing t-ball. I started playing because my older brother, he was playing in Little League. He started when he was like 11, 12 years old. He's like 5, 6 years older than me. So I wanted to be just like my older brother. So I started playing too. And this is where we are today.
Yeah, wonderful. How about some of the teams that you played with through the years, AJ?
So I always played Little League, only Little League up until I was about 10 years old. And then I started playing with a Bulldogs team out of Diamond Sports. And then played with them for about, I think, like 4 years. And then we switched over to Northwest Reign out of the same complex, Diamond Sports. And just recently, until this year, I started playing with New Level, out of New Level.
Yeah, wonderful. So now, AJ, as you know, there are so many aspects relative to baseball that are required to be an all-star. You know, you catch the ball, you throw the ball, you hit the ball, there's some strategy and so much more. Which component of the game of baseball do you most pride yourself in?
I pride myself in the hitting aspect. I have one of the top hit tools in the country out of like anybody. And I pride myself in that. And I know a ton about mechanics. I like to work with a lot of my teammates, try to show them some things, how they can tweak stuff. They all listen to me because they know that I know what I'm talking about. So I like to help people out too. I like to provide my insight, use all this stuff that I've learned. I basically, whenever I learn about hitting, I would go on YouTube and I would watch video of major league guys and try to mimic some of their mechanical like things that they do, but not like copy their like stances or anything like that. I have my own unique stance, but I like to copy mechanical stuff.
You know, there are those that would say hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do in all of sports. Have you found yourself changing your swing, your mechanics? Is this an ever-evolving kind of an activity for you?
I'd say my swing in general hasn't changed ever since I really learned the key concepts of the swing back when I was like 14. So everything's basically stayed the same, all the swing path and all that, besides like fine tuning a little bit of stuff and working on separation and stuff like that and timing. But it's basically been the same thing all the way through.
You bet. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it, huh?
Basically. Yeah.
So AJ, how about sharing a game and a bat, a season, an out, a play, something that, you really, really cherish close to your heart about your baseball career?
Oh, that is a good question. I would have to think. I'm trying to think of an at-bat that stands out to me. A sophomore year, we were in the Elite Eight of state playoffs, and we were playing Liberty, and if we win this game, we would have we go to the Final Four, and I think we were up by I think it was 3-0 or something, and I had gotten down to 0-2. The pitcher had gotten 2 straight fastballs right on the outside corner. Nothing I could really do with it. And then I watched a ball in the inside corner. And then I got a changeup low and outside corner. And I basically just flicked my hands, kind of reached almost, but I still hit a laser over the left field fence for a 3-run shot. And we ended up winning that game. I think it was 7-5. So if I didn't hit that home run, we definitely would have lost.
Oh, wonderful. That's a moment to cherish forever. You bet.
Indeed.
So look, it sounds like your plans are to go to University of Washington, continue playing baseball. What most excites you about this next step in your career?
I'd say what most excites me is getting to play at that level of competition and getting to see what I'm really made of. I know I have the confidence in myself to where I can perform at a high level there. And a lot of the guys that are going to college with me, I've played with a lot of them before. It's going to be a fun time, I think.
Great. So AJ, any baseball players got a favorite team somewhere? So you a Mariners fan, or is there another team out there that captures your heart?
I am a Mariners fan at heart because, I live in Washington, but the Mariners haven't always been the best ball club. I have really liked the Nationals ever since I was younger. I liked Bryce Harper when he was there. I really like Juan Soto, the way he carries himself and the way he plays the game. I'm not really an Atlanta Braves fan per se, but I really like Ronald Acuna Jr.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful. I'm certain that you model yourself after some great athletes, and it sounds like you're that model for other athletes that are younger than you and aspiring baseball players also. So, AJ, why don't you share with us some of the people that you wish to thank for the assistance that they've given you in your academic and your baseball career success?
So I say the people I'd really like to thank are the friends that I grew up with, the baseball players that I've played with, all of those guys motivating me as well to get better. My mom and my dad, obviously, they're the ones who take care of the expenses for me to do all the travel ball. They get me my equipment and stuff. And I also like to thank my summer ball coach, Randy Anderson. He has always given me opportunities, like big opportunities, to go and show out. Back when I was 14, I was still playing with Rain, and they were like a smaller, less known ball club. And Randy's new level team, filled with a bunch of studs, a lot of eyes watching them. He noticed the talents that I had, and he invited me to play with his team. And ever since then, I would go to like big tournaments with them, like Perfect Game and USA and stuff like that. And I would always show out against a lot of the best guys. And now I'm on his team fully now.
Yeah. Wonderful, AJ. Scott and Ames would be absolutely thrilled to be able to watch you play ball. And from all of us at TAC and our membership, we want to say congratulations to AJ Guerrero from Fife High School. Congratulations, AJ.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. Once again, the Tacoma Athletic Commission members are extremely proud to acknowledge and honor these high school student athletes, their families, their coaches, athletic directors, administrators, and their schools for all that they do for the betterment of not only themselves and their families, but also for all of us living and prospering within our Tacoma and Pierce County community. In closing, the Tacoma Athletic Commission once again extends congratulations to all of our student athletes from Tacoma and Pierce County during the 2020 and 2021 school year. And finally, remember to always and in always be true to your school.